there was a man, I guess he's like a therapist or something like that, and he's talking about, talking to a woman. I wish I could do that on this particular live, but he's talking to a woman about a situation where the woman had, what was it? She had walked in on her husband. Hear me out, y'all. Walked in on her husband talking to his female friends about how he wasn't attracted to her. Yes. Walked in on her husband, newlywed husband, talking to his friends about how he wasn't attracted to her. She had went back to the house. She was going out walking. She went back to the house and she heard her husband talking with his female friends about how he was not attracted to his wife, that she wasn't his type, and that he's coming around to her because I guess she was, from what the video says, she was a little bit darker than what he was normally used to. She was a little bit bigger than what he was normally used to, but she was a good person. And so he was coming around to being attracted to his wife. This made me think, do men typically get married to women they not attracted to? So I did some research. And I found out that reportedly, this is reported, so I'm just going to add 25% to that. Reportedly, 25% of men did not marry or do not marry their ideal woman. That's why you have a lot of videos out on the internet space that women are saying men don't like their wives, men don't like their wives, men don't like their wives, they hate their wives, this, that, and the third. Well, it come to find out a lot of men do not marry their preference. They marry the woman that, I guess, well, this is what it said, y'all. This is not me. This is what it said. It said that men end up marrying they use the word convenient. I don't like saying the word convenient, but it's the woman who is kind of like, you know, what they have on average looking woman, may not be as ideal, but has solid, like a personality, seemingly solid personality, somebody who's down to earth, somebody who's all these different things. Not their ideal. Most men do not marry their ideal. They marry the woman that makes sense. Why? Because men don't get married for the same reasons women do. Women are looking for the lovey-dovey, oh my God, I'm in love with you feeling. Men are practical. They're looking at what makes sense for the situation. So they're usually not looking for the woman that is like overly attractive and, you know, has everything he wants or whatever the case may be physically, because they're like, that's a risk. If I get with her, I have to also take what comes with that. They normally go for the woman that's a little bit, you know, more average looking, more down to earth, seemingly more nurturing, those types of characteristics, because that is a safer woman to be with, from what it says on the internet. Now, mind you, this is what I'm reading. This is not the truth. This is why we're on here tonight. Why do men tend to marry more average looking women rather than their preference? Here's why I say this. Because this woman walked in on her husband talking to his friends about how he was not attracted to her. It destroyed her, family. It destroyed her, because they're like, well, you normally like women like this, this, and this. And he's like, I know, but she a good person. So I'm working around her looks because I feel like she's a good person. That absolutely destroyed her. Destroyed her. And so for me, I'm looking at the situation like, is that, would I want to be with somebody, or would I want to be in a situation with somebody that I was not their preference? Like, what would I want to be with somebody that I'm not their preference? Would I want to be with somebody or in a relationship with anybody, like, or married to somebody that I wasn't their preference? And so for me, when I saw that and I heard this woman, I heard her crying, I heard her being emotional, I was like, is it right for men? Is it right for y'all to marry women or date women that aren't your ideal? If you feel like you're settling? Because this man clearly felt like he was settling. And everybody around him knew he was settling. And now he's with a woman who he is her preference. She is not his preference. And now she walking in on a conversation where the man is saying to his friends, yeah, I mean, I'm working around to her looks. She cool or whatever, but she's not my preference. Donnie asked, so why did he do it? I'm saying I don't know. It sounded like because she was a solid woman. That's the thing, y'all. I know you guys are asking on here, why did he do it? A lot of men do this. That's what it says on the internet. That's what I'm reading. A lot of men do decide to marry women that may not be their ideal because number of reasons, more or less, it's more of it makes sense for the situation. Like, this woman seems like she's here for the right reasons. This woman, I don't have to really worry about, the attention that she'll get or this, that, and the third. Like, those are the types of thoughts that men voiced. It came down to, it was more of a safer situation. They didn't feel the, what was the word? They didn't feel the anxiety that they felt like a more attractive woman would bring. Men will marry the woman that is not their ideal and cheat on them with their ideal. That's my problem. Y'all are marrying women that y'all, yeah, she makes sense. Maybe she's been with you for a while. Maybe you know her, whatever the case may be. She might be like, but then you cheat on her with what you really want. You cheat on her with the woman you really desire to be with. Or you fantasize about the woman that you desire. Like, I feel like if you're going to fantasize, because in the Bible it talks about if you look at lust, if you look at another woman with lust, you've already cheated. That's how the Bible defines it. If you look at another woman while you are married with lust in your eyes, you have already cheated. All right? So in my perspective and opinion, if you're gonna be fantasizing about other women because the woman you married is not your ideal type, that's not the woman that you would ultimately be with, then maybe you shouldn't have married her, because then you're putting yourself in a conundrum. But I think a lot of men, based upon research, marry women that are not their ideal. Why do you think that is? No, marriage is, oh my gosh. Y'all, like, honestly, I think what I've learned is that in today's society, we have a lot of sheep and irresponsible wolves. We have a lot of sheep mentality. Y'all just take what certain content creators give you and you run with it. You run with it like it's your thought processes. But do your own research. Do your own research. I think if you're trying to have children, I think marriage is the context to have children. If you're trying to have a family, I think that's the context. Not out of wedlock and you got baby mom. Like, that's not ideal. That's not ideal. So to say it's unnecessary is actually wild, unless you don't want kids. At the end of the day, to me, I think it's very important that when you're talking about relationships and you're talking about choosing a partner, I think for myself, just me personally, I don't ever want to be married. I don't think anybody I've met, and myself, me as well, I would never want to be with somebody and I feel like I settled for them. That's all I'm saying. I wouldn't want, I wouldn't want somebody, I don't think anybody would want somebody to feel like they were being settled for. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't want to feel like somebody's settled, like, oh, I'm with you and I want us both to feel like we got what we desired. Otherwise, why are we doing it? If I don't feel like I got what I desired and that person didn't get what they desired, then what we doing it for? That's how I look at it. But I don't think that, just going back to that conversation, the initial conversation, I don't think that men should settle. I don't. Because in this situation, I saw and I've read many accounts of where men regret marrying women that were not their ideal. Like, you read it everywhere. There's not the woman that they were the most attracted to. It's not the woman that they were really vying for. Now they're watching their ex's page that they feel like they should have married instead of the woman that they did marry, because the woman that they did marry was just kind of, they felt like it was a safer bet for them. They felt like it would be a situation where she would, I don't know, was like more likely to stay or what the case may be, but they ended up regretting that. And so I am coming on here saying, I don't think that men should settle. I don't think that men should settle. I don't think women should settle either. But I think there's a difference between being realistic and settling. I think there's two different ways of thinking about it.